Good morning. Welcome back to the farm. Today, I'm going to show you how we plant tomatoes. It's not as easy as you'd think. In the past, we have always used tomato cages. These tomato cages have served us well. This particular one is probably 20 years old and it is just as good now as it was then. It's made out of concrete reinforcing wire. Well, this year, we're going to try something different. We're going to use the same method that the commercial people use for tomatoes. We're going to use the Florida weed. Our tools for the day. This is the Whizbang wheel hoe. This is how we're going to keep our row straight. With the Florida weave, it's particularly important. And the Dibble Wheel at about 15 inches, give or take, spacing. Let's back up for a minute. How many tomato plants do you need for a year? There are several ways to calculate this, but most of it is just experience. Now, we're going to put in about 80 plants. About 60 of those are celebrities. Celebrities, you're going to get 15, 20 pounds per. So we're looking to get anywhere from 800 to 1,200 pounds of tomatoes from our 80 plants. Now, that's enough to get us through the year. Why so much? Well, if you figure ketchup, salsa, tomato soup, sliced tomatoes, and anything else that goes along with that, there's a lot more than what you think. So if you think you're going to get by with growing 5 tomato plants for the season for a year's worth of food, I think you're kidding yourself. So let's be real. Let's start thinking like market gardeners. Get an end result. I need X amount of pounds of product, whatever your vegetable is, and figure out how much land you need, how many rows, how many plants per row, your spacing, and your varieties. It's a pretty easy exercise, although it's not something you want to do in the spring. This is a winter project. Let's get started. This is one of our abbreviated rows in the garden. We'll start here. This is about 35 feet or so long, and we're going to set our string down through here so that we can keep our row straight. Got the obligatory string and stake. We're going to go all the way down. You can see my string flipping and flopping there. Hopefully it won't get too tangled up as we go. Sometimes they do though. Funny, when you put them up, you think you've got them exactly the way they need to be, and when you go to use them again, there's always something that tangles. So we'll see. Well, that looks pretty straight. Let's get the Dibble Wheel. Before I started this entire project, I ran the wheel hoe and made sure that any weeds, and there weren't many, were taken care of so I don't have to deal with them in a week or two. Just saying. Okay, we got the Dibble Wheel set up on our string. As you can see, we're going to punch a hole about every 15, 16 inches so we have proper plant placement in our straight row. If I had to bend up and down 80 times with a piece of wood trying to get plant spacing as we go, it'd be a rough evening, and lots of Advil, Tylenol, whatever I could get my hands on. Let's check our Dibble Wheel holes. There's one, there's one, there's one, there's one, there's one. I think you get the idea. We got holes about where we need them, in a straight line. Let's plant some tomatoes. Okay, there's one special tool that I neglected to mention. Post hole diggers, not required. You could do it with a shovel or a hand trowel, whatever you got, depending on what you're going to do. But you have got to stop thinking like you're a home gardener, especially if you're trying to grow enough food for a whole year, which is what we do here and been doing it for years. So in order for me to bend down and twist and turn and plant, and I can go down this row where I just ran the Dibble Wheel and open up the earth. Continue to go. Then I will go back and put my amendments in, and then I will actually bring the tomato plants out and put them in the ground. It's highly efficient to do it like this. If I was to do this one at a time for 80 tomato plants, I'll be here all day. Find my hole where my Dibble Wheel put in and remove the dirt. You can put it any old place you want as long as it's out of the way. I want my holes about 6-8 inches deep, maybe a little deeper in spots. Move to the next one. I'm gonna put them over here, just out of the way. Now that we have our first 46 holes dug, what are we going to do? We're going to put some amendments in the hole. We're going to put agricultural grade gypsum. You can get that at Lowe's, Home Depot, I suppose, if not Amazon. And some Epsom salt. They allow for calcium as well as other nutrients from the soil to be leached into the plants better. Tomatoes are big on calcium. And the way our weather works here is we might have 100 degrees. We get rain, maybe an inch or two of rain, and poof, it's 100 degrees again. So humidity skyrockets, but it also allows for blossom end rot to just go crazy if you don't do something. We've been working on this for years. This seems to be the only solution. We move our tomatoes every year to try to keep disease and bugs down. But calcium is difficult. Yeah, we've done soil samples, we've done everything that needs to be done, and yet here we are again. So let's get our gypsum, and we're going to put some in the hole. Here's our gypsum right here. We're going to use one of Mrs. Possum Ridge Farm's mason jars, and we're going to sprinkle a little bit in the holes. Not a big deal. Here we go. Once again, using my calibrated elbow, I'll sprinkle a little bit in. I'm going to sprinkle a little bit in. Now remember, I'm going to mix this up with dirt, because I really don't want this gypsum or anything else in direct contact with my plants. And we will reload until we're done. Now that we have the gypsum in all our holes, we're going to use a smidge, which is technical, of Epsom salt. Drum roll, please. Now, it's time to start planting our tomato plants. Now, these are a little bit older than I would prefer to put them in, but that's just how the weather's worked out this year. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dig a little deeper in the hole, mix up our gypsum and our Epsom salt, put this in the hole. Now, if you notice the bottom of this, we usually grow these in really small stubs of dirt in our 128s. But with tomatoes, I want to allow for maximum root growth. So what I've done is last night I went through, and these are really wet. I'm going to put this in the soil. I'm going to tear these down so the roots can grow. And I'm going to bury them up to about here. And so I'm going to mix this up in the hole so my gypsum and my tomato plant are not touching. Kind of loosen it up a bit. Then I'm going to go ahead and tear off a little bit of this so the root growth can take off. Now, some people think you need to put tomatoes straight in the ground. That's not the case. What I do is when I have a setup like this, I will take and I will bend the plant. And once you bend the plant over, it doesn't matter where the roots go later. And there we go. I got the first one in. Now I only have 45 more to go. Okay, our first row of 46 is pretty much done. You kind of get it. And it's doing okay. The plants are not perfect. They're never going to be perfect, and they're going to go through some stress, and we'll probably lose a few. But nonetheless, they're pretty much ready to go. Now what do? We're going to put some fertilizer on them just to make sure everything is good. We're supposed to get an inch or two of rain tomorrow. And so I want to make sure that we have the proper amount of nutrients in the soil. So we're going to get our triple 15 out and side dress every one of these tomato plants. Here's my highly calculated arm and my triple 15. I'm going to go through and side dress around the tomatoes a little bit. We're not going to put a lot around them. We're going to put a little bit to ensure they have everything they need when the rain comes, which hopefully won't be till tonight or tomorrow, but you never know. Got about 30 or so super sauces we need to put in the ground, but the process is all the same. A tomato is a tomato is a tomato. How you trellis, stake, or not is entirely up to you. Good luck. Until next time, enjoy your tomatoes. I'll see you down at the barn.